Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel eddieinreadingland. My name is Eddie and today I am reviewing On Your Terms by our very own Dr. C. Okay guys, like I said in the introduction, today I'm talking about On Your Terms, Gender Transition Redefined for Adults by Dr. Natalia, and I'm sure that I'm going to mispronounce Dr. C's last name, but I'm going to give it a go. Sikareva. I'm not really sure. My first language is Spanish, so I tend to read it very flat. But I'm pretty sure that it's a lot more sing-songy than I'm appearing into. But as in any case, this book was written by Dr. C, who also has a channel here, and I just love her channel. I see her videos every single time that she has a video because her YouTube name is Tarot Shrink. I'm pretty sure we all know her because she has this really cool style. Oh, wait a minute. There she is. Let me show you over here because anyway, I'm gonna go to the down camera. Here she is. There's Dr. Z. She just has this really cool aesthetic, guys. But yes, so this is On Your Terms, and I wanted to read a book about gender and how I could be a better ally for trans people, especially right now where they're going through a lot of stuff politically that I just feel it's probably a very stressful situation, and I just wanted to learn more about what it means to gender transition and how that works for other people and how that may work for others too. Just trying to be a better ally, guys, honestly. Surprisingly enough, I ended up learning from this book a lot more than just how to help trans people or how to be a better ally to them. If you ask me, I feel like this book is so well written and it's actually giving a lot of really good tools and resources to trans people. If you're a trans person and I get to you and you're watching this, please buy this book. It is really good. Dr. C has been working with trans people for years now, and she also has a lot of resources in her website. I'll link that also down below, and I'll link her YouTube channel as well. She not only loves tarot, she also has a really, you can see that she has a passion for helping others. And especially with this book, oh my god, you would think that this would be an academic text, but it's not. It's written in vernacular. It's written so simple for anybody to understand, and it's so on point, and it has a lot of heart in it. I feel like she knows what she's talking about. If you are a trans person and you have read this book, please let me know in the comments below if what I just said is true. I wouldn't know, but this is the thing. This is how I like to be taught. This is how I like to learn with this book. And I know that Dr. C actually has on her book that this is specifically for trans people and non-binary people. Actually, you can see it over here in the introduction. But honestly, guys, she talks about a lot of really helpful coping mechanisms and a lot of themes that will help everybody in their daily life. It definitely helped me, and she is actually defining very complex terms in such an easy to understand way. Clearly she knows what she's saying and doing, because if she's able to distill such a complex topic into very easy to understand words, well, I mean, her linguistic intelligence is probably super high as well. You can also tell that by her videos. Honestly, this book made me cry a little. when I was reading, especially the part about fear and the part about confidence in the book. I'm gonna show you guys eventually, but I just I feel like I need to tell you these things so that you know how much I really, really enjoyed this book, and I feel like everybody should read it just because of that. Yes, this book was written specifically for trans people, but I feel like everybody can definitely reap the rewards from reading this book. And honestly, guys, it's such a short book that even if you're not an avid reader, you will read this very fast and you will feel how helpful it is for you. And also for understanding trans people in this case. But yes, so as in any case, the other thing that I was going to tell you, this has been the only book this year that I have read twice in one sitting. Like, I finished reading this book and I immediately started rereading it again. This has been the only book this year that has happened with. This is definitely my favorite nonfiction book that I have read this year, and I have read a lot of nonfiction books this year, guys. You can see it on my Goodreads. It's on my description down below. But oh my God, this book is just so good. Seriously, I feel like this book should be studied in schools. They should give this to kids so that they also know what gender is, what gender dysphoria. So here's the first chapter, guys. She starts by defining gender dysphoria, how that affects trans people, and why this is a topic that needs to be discussed. Again, she does it in such a good way that you're not only learning what gender dysphoria is, you're also trying to empathize with trans people too. I feel like Dr. C. Well, I'm sure that because she has spoken to trans people for the majority of her career, she's able to empathize better with them and show a lot of sympathy for them as well. But honestly, I don't feel like it's a is it an object not objectifying, that's definitely not the word, but there's care and there is a gentleness in this intrinsic knowledge that Dr. C has that she's able to transmit. It's wonderful. So I'm glad that I was able to read what gender dysphoria is, and that she starts by really defining that on the first chapter. Amazing. I think that more people need to know what gender dysphoria is, just so that they would create some sort of compassion, some form of compassion. I think that's the better way to say, for people who are actually feeling gender dysphoria, because I'm pretty sure that it's not a good feeling to have, especially after reading this book. So very glad that gender dysphoria is being defined, especially the first chapter. That's awesome. Good job, Dr. C. And then she does talk more about gender and other gender issues that trans people may come across. She also goes into a lot of phrases that a lot of trans people hear during their transition and probably during their whole life, for goodness sakes. Some of these phrases, I found, me being a queer man, something like this has always been said culturally, and it's things like this are still said. And there are also phrases here that we tell ourselves as queer people that relate to this as well. So I was like, okay, well, clearly there are some what is it? There is some sharing of that insecurity, and there is some sharing of that lack of sensitivity that people have towards us, and that right now trans people are definitely experiencing. So that's awesome. I want to know what not to say. I want to know what not to make another person feel bad about themselves. I need to know those things so that I don't make that mistake. So that's also awesome. I love to read about that, even though it was a little bit sad. The good thing about it, though, is that I learned what not to say and how not to make another person feel. So that's awesome as well. So the book also goes into the difference between internal and external fears. This is where this not only applies to trans people, but can apply to other people as well. Who has told us, any of us, what the difference between an internal and external fear is and how to cope with it? She did. She told us that, and I'm going to show you her example. She told us that internal fears are often internalized, and they look like, I am afraid I will make a mistake. We all have that. We all feel that. We all make mistakes, and we all feel like we're going to make a mistake. And then she goes into external fears, and she provides another example. I am afraid I will lose my loved one. I know that she's saying it to trans people and their issues, and this should be about them. But I do want to let you guys know that this book will not only teach you how to be a better ally to trans people, but also how to, you can use these tools for yourself. It's that well written. I'm just incredibly impressed by this book. I'm going to be very honest. The only reason why I actually bought this book was because I just love Dr. C, and I love supporting her, and so it was sort of like it started as I do want to read about gender, but I want to know what Dr. C says about it. But it turned out to be a tool. It turned out to be a really good resource, and it turned out to be a book that, honestly, I'm gonna have right there on my bookshelf, right next to my bed, where I have my tarot and my favorite books, because I just feel like it deserves that spot. But moving on from this amazing book, there's a chapter about building houses, not castles. Dr. C teaches us that when you're building your confidence, you should not build a castle, because when you build a castle and somebody destroys that castle, you don't have anything else. You're going to have to start fresh in building that castle for yourself. Instead, you should build houses. So you should have a whole neighborhood of pocket confidences, and they should be small houses instead of one big castle. Why? Because if somebody wrecks one of those houses, you still have a lot of those little houses surrounding the other houses, that house that got destroyed, and you can still lean on that other confidence that you have. Again, this helps you as a person. This is a tool. This is a resource. Love that I wouldn't have known. It's and I'm so glad that this is being expressed like this in a book for trans people, because they need all the help they can get right now. And I'm hoping by making this video, I get more people to read this book and to be better allies to trans people, because even if it's just reading a book and showing sympathy and trying to be empathetic, that's a win. That's a win right now. So does it solve the situation? Definitely not. No, it doesn't. But at least it's something. It's something in favor. The other thing is, let's see, do I have something else? Oh yeah. The other thing is that I found extremely interesting is that trans people tend to apologize for being trans, and I'm sorry. That's the last chapter. This is not what it is. Regrets are just perspectives. I like the fact that Dr. C tells us that regrets are just perspectives. What she means by this, she means that regrets are just discernments, and that, you know, if you change your perspective on how you see a regret, it is just that, you know. You don't have to go deep into that regret and make it this whole thing. Instead, change your perspective on it. She does a better job at explaining it, but I love the fact that she says that that phrase, regrets, not rejects. Regrets are just perspectives. I love that because it is true. If you're able to change your mindset, you are in a very good road, or in a very good way, into a healthier or a better state of mind. So I love that. Then we move on to rejection is redirection. You know, guys, we're all going to be rejected at some point. And honestly, in my opinion, if somebody is rejecting you, that this person is probably not worthy of being in your life. And even though Dr. C did not say that, that was my takeaway from this, because I had to learn that as well when especially growing up. There's a lot of misconceptions as well about queer people out there, not only about trans or gay people, they're just queer people in general. And I feel like if a person is rejecting us and they don't want to accept us as we are, they shouldn't be part of our lives. It's really hard to let that go, and especially if it's a person that you're meant to love, like a parent or a brother or a sister. But honestly, the alternative is actually quite worse. Can just being there because you have to, because you're meant to love them. It's something that I struggle with even today. So I like that she has a chapter on rejection, because there's going to be a lot of rejection there throughout our lives. So I'm glad that she has turned rejection into a tool as well, because reading this book made me view things in different ways, and that's good. The change of mindset, it's good. The change of perspective is good. So incredibly thankful. But the last thing I wanted to say was about stop apologizing. I have noticed with my queer friends, and especially trans people, especially trans friends that I do have, they apologize for everything. But I thought that was an American thing, because Americans apologize for everything and it doesn't mean anything. But when I have noticed that when trans people are apologizing, they do apologize and they mean it. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I feel like they deserve a place indefinitely under the queer umbrella. They deserve a place as humans. They deserve a place where they can get healthcare. They deserve a place where they can just be at peace, for goodness sakes. And they shouldn't apologize for that. They should want all of these things. They should fight for all of these things. And it's just concerning and sad that it's not happening. But yes, that's a whole different topic not discussed in this book. This book is amazing, guys. I hope I have done it justice, because I know I've talked about a lot of things, and I know that I've also related this book to my personal life and also to other queer people. I'm not a monolith. I cannot speak for anybody else other than myself. But please read this book. I believe that it will make you a better ally for trans people. You will learn a lot of the issues and a lot of the problems that trans people go through. You will also learn, hopefully, what not to say and how not to behave when it comes to trans people, because at the end of the day, trans people are just humans. They shouldn't be any different than us. They actually, we should celebrate those differences. That's the difference. That's the difference. As in any case, guys, this is an excellent book. Please just read it. Please just read it. The whole literature of this book will be so rewarding, I can assure you. This will not only give you tools as a person, this book will make you a better person. Because it definitely did me. Oh my god, is that hubris? I hope not. But at least I have learned a lot about from this book, and I hope that I'm able to apply it. As in any case, excellent book. Please read it. Please read it. I'll have it linked down below so you can get it and you have easy access to it. Please read it. Thank you so much for being here, YouTube. I really appreciate it. I know it's a little bit. It's more like a. It's less of a review and more like a please go ahead and read it sort of thing. But let me know in the comments below if you have read this book and what did you think about that? What do you think about it? Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye, YouTube. Imagine a party with dresses and cake. We're singing and dancing and cake. And there's a magic act that saws Regina in half, and this time it will take. Now that's a party.